My boyfriend loves consuming porn more than me. You deal with this like every other relationship post on this subreddit, communication. Some people are fine with watching porn, some aren't, some hate it, some love it, for some it's a kink for their partner to watch it. This isn't the case for you, you're clearly uncomfortable about it, so you need to sit down with your BF and explain how it makes you feel, and that you would like him to not watch it anymore. And none of the watch it less or only watch it on Saturdays but not Sundays. No. If it makes you uncomfortable, you communicate it, and if you can't settle on it, then that's it. I had a very beautiful friend who modeled for a while. She was stunning, kinda an Ana de Armas look-alike. Despite this, her BF would always choose porn over having sex with her and she hated it. I doubt it's got anything to do with you, it's just that some men are severely addicted to porn and can't enjoy the real thing. But if you've tried communicating and he doesn't respect your needs, then it seems like it's time to move on. I think your boyfriend is porn addicted. You can't do much if he isn't willing to help himself. Porn has a lot of free dopamine, and usually PPL with a porn addiction end up being more interested in the videos instead of the real thing. IRS got nothing to do with your attractiveness but everything with his addiction. If you've talked to him, you should maybe ask yourself if you're willing to put up with this in the hopes it might get better. Or you could just leave him. There's enough guys out there that don't have a porn addiction after all. Honestly, if it's becoming an issue you can deal with, and you've tried communicating with them, it is probably best to take a step to the left and get out of that situation. If you are in an unhappy relationship, do not stay in it. It might be hard to leave, but if it's going to affect your mental health, you need to prioritize that. Let him have the porn and leave him. There is a man out there that wants to engage with you instead of his hand and a screen. Could be just getting a hit of dopamine here or there. Maybe he can work on replacing that with something else. Not necessarily replacing that with you. I see posts like this so often. You should consider the Love After Porn subreddit. Sounds like he is addicted. I'm married. I love my wife. I enjoy sex with her. You could almost say using porn has nothing to do with her. It's something I do on my own time. I've never cheated on her and don't plan to. It's like smoking a cigarette. It means nothing, just feels good. It's not like she's not good enough and I turn to porn to cope or something. I love her. The two aren't connected. Sounds like porn addiction. Tell him how it affects you. If he continues to watch it without any regard to you, then it's an issue. Find a man who isn't addicted to porn, who will pay attention to you and treat you well. You deserve it. So he's your ex-boyfriend, right? Why waste your life on a loser? He likes RPE porn? What you do is break up with him. Regardless though, if you've communicated how you feel, and it makes you uncomfortable regardless, I wholeheartedly believe a solid partner who loves you would be willing to give up something like porn, and the right one will. Dump him. He addicted. Damn, every time I watch porn I'm like, man, I wish I was fucking my GF. We are in a long-distance relationship. He needs help. If he doesn't, it will only get worse. Especially with AI doing what it's doing. I struggled with my husband about this issue for almost a year. Thanks to my previous marriage, I have an incredibly negative outlook on porn. My husband back then would constantly be looking at other naked women. Every social media outlet he had was littered with post after post of naked women. Same kind of story. I felt he would rather look at them than what I would send him, and made me feel terrible about myself. We fought about it quite a bit. Every time I'd find out he was actively searching out porn, while he'd tell me he is trying to stop. It took one night when I was at my wit's end to walk in the room and tell him I can't keep doing this. He pretty much stopped altogether after that. He's a big nerd, so he also has interest in hentai animated porn, which I told him doesn't bother me as it's not a real woman I feel compared to, although I didn't like the idea of him pleasuring himself to it. as that's kinda my job. So I'm pretty certain he now only looks at that. We have a pretty active sex life, but if for whatever reason I'm not in the mindset for sex, it doesn't upset me if he finishes to that. Porn is ruining so many relationships. He is addicted, nothing to do with you. To understand it better, watch some videos on this topic, it maybe helps you to understand it better. Many don't see it as problematic, but me personally I think porn addiction is one of the worst addiction to have. It affects a person in relationships without the person really noticing it. Immo. Watching porn is unnecessary. Men will attack me for saying this. It's lame excuse.